dominance. 5 goals without reply, and really that spell just before half-time killed off any hope that St Johnstone had. Callum McGregor got it started, Dyson Maeda got 2, and Amida scored 1 before half-time, and Jota came off the bench to score within a couple of minutes. So it will be Celtic and Aberdeen again, as they met here in the semi-final last season, and that turned into a real classic, went all the way to penalties, a 3-3 draw. If we get half the drama of that game on May the 24th, we'll be in for a treat. But Celtic were levels above St Johnstone this afternoon. Their continued dominance of Scottish football goes on. The potential for a treble goes on. And right now, there just looks no stopping them. Aberdeen will have to come up with a plan. The full-time score at Hampden Park: St Johnstone 0, Celtic 5.
Thank you, Rory. Well, a comprehensive victory for Celtic this afternoon, and they do progress into the Scottish Cup final to take on Aberdeen on May the 24th, the date in the diary for Aberdeen and for Celtic fans. Neil, overall that was impressive. Is probably a bit of an understatement from Celtic. Yeah,
devastating. I mean, that 12-minute spell before half-time, you know, the power and the quality that Celtic manifested was, breathtaking. Second half, you know, real control of the game, another great goal from Jota, and obviously the strength and depth that Brendan has at his disposal. He's able to, you know, bring Kuhn and McGowan and, you know, Bernardo and all these, you know, quality players on. It's been a really good day for Celtic. 5 last week, 5 today. It just shows the power that they have within the ranks, and, you know, he's got such a, you know, luxury of players at his disposal at the minute, and you know, they're a game away from winning the title, and, you know, 2 games from another treble, which is incredible. You know, back in my day, you know, we won one in 2001. It took 20 odd years. Celtic are rolling off trebles, you know, every other year now. It's so impressive.
It's almost an expectation now from the Celtic fans, isn't it, Callum? Such has been their dominance in recent years, but you know, just how impressed have you been with the performances in the last 2 games by Celtic after that St Johnstone defeat, the way that Brendan Rodgers has managed to almost kick them back into action?
Yeah, really impressed. I think it's obviously suffered little setbacks during the season, but for me I was really impressed. Obviously they figured out what St Johnstone were doing. First 25 minutes today they were man for man. Then when they start to find the space, obviously the message that Brendan got on the coaches, the players. Callum McGregor, for me, understands the game so well. He's one of those players you don't need to tell him what to do. He understands what he's supposed to do, man for man. Then they start to pick St Johnstone off. You know, St Johnstone tried, you know, but again, for me, Celtic were, that spell they had was sensational. You couldn't live with them. St Johnstone couldn't live with them when the game was over. But again, really impressed how they quickly adapt to little situations, because they come up against it. Kilmarnock normally play man for man at times as well. Other teams sit in the back 5, but they always find a way with the quality they've got in the team.
Yeah, I mean, what they can do, Celtic is quite incredible at this moment in time, because they just bide their time, they're patient, they try and wear you down. When they get the goal, then they put the foot down, they want to be aggressive, they want to get 2, 3, 4, 5. And as Lenny says, the strength and depth, and they're going to add to it in the summer. So the levels are at this moment in time, you think after the summer window as well. Scary thought.
Yeah, you have to say the levels that Celtic are producing are absolutely incredible at the moment. Another cup final. They remain on course for the treble, and they remain on course for a 3rd consecutive Scottish Cup. Let's get some reaction then and head down pitch side, because Connie is alongside the captain Callum McGregor and Adam Ida.
I am indeed. Thank you very much for that, Emma. Congratulations, guys. Another Scottish Cup final. This is becoming a bit of a habit. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Obviously, that's the job, is when you get to semi-finals, get to finals, and obviously be a successful Celtic team, which means winning trophies, and obviously we get the chance now to do that at the end of the month. But a lot of football to be played until then, and we want to arrive in the best possible way. But today, 5-0, 5 goals, excellent. Can't ask for much more than that.
In a typical Callum McGregor style goal to kick things off. It's becoming a bit of a sort of identity now for you.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. You obviously go through wee patches where when you shoot, everything goes in. So it was nice actually to a couple of sighters before that as well. So I was feeling good about arriving onto the box, and Rail shows a nice wee bit of skill to free me up in the box, and thankfully it went in, and obviously that started the scoring as well.
Is he trying to steal your gig?
Well, he's doing a good job. No, he's been brilliant. I think that's every goal now we've scored outside the box. I think he's been outstanding in it. It brings so much to us as a team, you know, to have everyone midfielder scoring goals. It helps us so much, and it's got us here. So I'm looking to keep working hard now, and hopefully can get some more.
How does that feel? You know, when you're sort of you can sense the confidence running through the team like this. How much does it add to your game to help you obviously getting your goal as well?
No, it's great. I think it's all come from the start of the season. You know, we've been fantastic, and I think you can see it when you're watching the games. You know, the passing quality we have, the goals we're scoring. Everyone wants to be on the score sheet. You know, it's free flowing football. It's great to be a part of, and it's just like keep building on it. You know, game after game, keep working hard, keep trying to win games and be successful, and it's brilliant to be a part of.
And no hint of that performance from McDermott Park. That looks to be well and truly at your system.
Yeah, well, like I said after the game up there, you know, football's got a funny way of keeping you honest, and obviously the players know there's a lot of football to be played, and to do the last little bit and get over the line, it's always really difficult. So it was a nice reminder of you know, you got to stay on it, and obviously we knew we had the semi-final as well, so you want to put things right and arrive into another final. So like you said, we look to be over that, but the demand is always there. We want more all the time, and that's the thing about the players, just try to keep them stimulated and keep them pushing.
And just a final point, again, we've spoken about this so many times, I feel like, but it's important, the guys that are here supporting you today know that this is one step closer towards another treble. Adam, how does that sound?
Yeah, it's just fantastic. Obviously, I've not got a treble yet, and it's something that I came to this club, signed here because I wanted to win trophies, and like you said there, it's another step closer. You know, Aberdeen are going to be a great side. We've been there before against Aberdeen, and it was a tough game, you know, but it's exciting. Look, another trophy that we want to try and win, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right, I'm going to let you do the honours for this guy because your captain is the player of the match. Well done, Callum.
Yes, thank you. Thanks very much.
Nice one.
Cheers. See you later.
So there you have it. Celtic very much in control today. A 5-star showing, 4 different goal scorers, and a place in the Scottish Cup final. Much more reaction and analysis on the way after this. Well, here it is Celtic who have demolished St Johnstone by 5-0 in the Scottish Cup semi-final. Neil, what was the most impressive part of that performance from a Celtic perspective?
I just think once they smelt blood, you know, they got a stranglehold of St Johnstone and blitzed them. You know, and we're talking about the goals, the 12-minute spell. That's so impressive. It's so difficult to do. And then, you know, they managed the second half pretty comfortably. They're just so full of experience and quality and power and pace, and for me, just that relentlessness of wanting to score goals, and the tie was finished at half time.
Yeah, you talked about St Johnstone trying to win the second half. I mean, they managed to concede less goals, they conceded 1, but how do you feel they fared in that second 45?
I think it's difficult. I think they obviously came out, and Celtic probably just maybe took their foot off the gas a little bit, played a little bit composure, knew the game was won, so they can. Again, it's a really difficult afternoon for them. I think when you go 4-0 down at half time, you can see 2 goals just, I think, really in the 43rd and 45th minute. I think it's really then difficult to come out in the second half. But they had to go, they made changes. Young lad Kirk came on, you know, and possibly could have scored an absolute worldie.
Yeah,
he would have remembered. I'm not sure why it was chopped off. But again, I think it was one of those, they got players on, got no injuries. I think they've got bigger things to play for coming up. I think Celtic were just too good in the day. A good pitch, you know, and it's a good pitch, good surface, very hard to play against.
And that's the thing, Alan, isn't it? Out there on that pitch with that width, when you give Celtic the opportunity, they do have that capability to punish you.
Yeah, absolutely, they'll hurt you, and they've shown that there. Some of the goals I thought were excellent, the up, the back and the through, the movement. When you've got pace wide, it's very difficult to stop as well, so they found it difficult.
I think, in fact, hello, we are. Hello, Brendan. Come on in. We're joined by Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers. Please come in. Brendan, congratulations. Quite a result, quite a performance. What was the most pleasing aspect for you?
The start of the game, obviously, that's what why we kept the same team to start the game well. So we put so much energy into the game. I think you give St Johnstone a load of credit because it's difficult, hot conditions, and it's man-to-man. So you have to move them. We have to give a lot of energy and quality to the game, but they have to run as well. But I thought the players were excellent and tried to keep going second half to keep the ambition in the game. But no, it was very good.
Brendan, see when you come up against a man-for-man situation, you obviously come up against a lot of different types. Is there little triggers you get that the players then adapt to? Because I thought Cal McGregor today was brilliant at finding the space, because it's man-for-man. Is there little things, because that 12-minute spell was devastating today?
Yeah, I think it depends how a team pressures you at the top of the pitch. If they go with two, then of course you can connect the game through the sides and get forward, and then it gets set back to him. If a team plays one up and one off, then of course your centre halves are free. You step in, and then you then have to operate on the side of the field a wee bit more. But they're in tune with all of that now. That was something that over the last 12 months or so we had to become better at, dealing with that man-to-man, because a lot of teams before that were maybe zonal sat in, so you then have to get through that. But you have to work really, really hard in it to move the ball and find little gaps, and the players did that.
I thought it was very impressive. That little spell was excellent.
Very good.
Brendan, were you surprised, obviously, the way St Johnstone started the game, playing out for the back, really allowing you to be aggressive and go up and press like you get the first goal from it?
Not really, no. I think seeing since the new manager comes in, he's had a lot of courage to play, and he's obviously made a lot of changes in January, and I think that their team have got better and better. It's obviously now coming to 5 games, but I wasn't surprised by that. No, you have to be really aggressive in your press, and thankfully we're able to do that. But they build the game well. I've seen them in games where they have done that. We had to be really concentrated and make sure that we were ready for the ball coming into areas that we want to be aggressive in our press.
I just find the mentality of the team, Brendan, whenever they're asked the question, or whenever there's a jeopardy to the game, they find the answers, no matter what the circumstances are. And they've had a brilliant campaign in Europe, but domestically, I know that, like, at times it's hard to keep having that edge. But when there's something on the line, even last year when they won the double, they find the answers.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of this squad. Like, last year was tight. You know,
exactly.
Getting into February, March,
exactly.
but then we accelerated through that period and finished really well and played well. Sometimes the comfort, and this is the thing I talked about, it's not nice. You want it, but you don't really as a manager, because you're missing the edge. And that took the edge off a couple of performances, like when we played Southampton a few weeks ago, or St Johnstone, sorry. But last week against Hearts, I get my teams mixed up. So many get sorry. It's a long season. It's a long season. We're in high 50s now, nearly. So last week, very, very good, and obviously today, and it was hot on the pitch. I just had to walk around there. You wouldn't want to be playing on it, like it's boiling. But the players were brilliant, and like I said, the concentration was really good.
The power they have as well, and just that acceleration of tempo. The smell it, Brendan, do you know what I mean? Yeah, the smell, what's coming, the trophies or whatever, or the smell in the game, the team's weaknesses, and they just go bump.
Well, I think what we had to reinforce last week and this week, what we're all about, if you play with the speed and you attack and you press well, then we can be a really, really difficult team to play against. But when you're passive and you're passing, you're playing sidewards instead of playing forward, then I don't like that.
Yeah,
so absolutely, and you just miss little moments to play forward. But I can't complain. They're an incredible group of young players and young men who want to improve and win.
And you talk about those levels, Brendan. Callum McGregor today became the 7th player in your squad to hit double figures in scoring. I mean, that is quite an achievement, and something that's not been done at Celtic since 1966-67. So it shows you how impressive that is.
Yeah, well, he's such a unique player. The balance he gives the team. Like you see, the first 2 goals, he scores one and creates one, but that's because of how the opposition play. So you get the chance to release him forward, and he's
special.
Tactical idea of the game is such a high level. He's a coach on the pitch.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And it's now business time as far as the season's concerned. Next week you've got the opportunity to clinch the league. You're in the cup final now as well. Is it important for you that the players keep that jeopardy, they keep that sharpness now in the brain coming into this period?
Yeah, I said to them last week, we get to the cup final and I'll give them some sort of performance targets for the last 5 games, because we want to finish strong and we want to take a good rhythm into the cup final. So we'll have a look at that during the week. But as I said, over the course of the season, as Neil said, the Champions League, we were very, very good in that, and we'll get better. Domestically, the concentration, the ambition in the team. Been so many games we've played so well. Other games, okay, you can nitpick here and there and fixate on some of the games we've not been so good. But for me, I'd rather look at with so many good games. But we now got to keep it going to the end of the season, finish off what would be a brilliant season for us.
Yeah, it certainly would be. We appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Cheers.
again.
Thank you.
You know you've got Aberdeen in the finals.
Cheers.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, Brendan Rodgers there. Yeah, I mean, you get to this stage of the season, though, don't you? And I mean, I can't even remember what I was doing last week. Never mind, from Brendan's perspective, we were playing. There's so much happening. Let's have a look at the goals then, because we talked about Callum McGregor and just his ability to find space. I know, Alan, you were, asking a few questions here of the St Johnstone.
But what I was saying,
defence.
but what I was saying is, I understand Simo Valakari wants to play from the back. I think there's certain situations that you don't really need to, and one of them here.
One of them.
Yeah, I mean, Barry Douglas, why he's taking a kick from there, I don't understand. That should be the goalkeeper. But after that, it's just 1, 2, 3 touches there. You have to, as a defender, go out and be aggressive and be tight, and then it just leads to all different.
I love this bit from McGregor. He recognises where that space is. That one into the striker's feet, he then recognises, I can go. I think that's just great game intelligence, and what a fantastic servant he's been for Celtic.
The weight of the pass is great as well, the timing of the run from Maeda. But yeah, Brendan touches on his Callum's IQ is so high. He is a coach on the pitch. He has been for a long, long time, and it's no secret or that this trophy haul that he's racking up, it's done with hard work, and it's done with dedication to his game and dedication to the club, and he's a very special player.
Do you think he'll go into coaching when he's
no question. If he wants, it's up to him. I mean, he's playing in that position now where we all do it. Even I did it, Cal, right? You go from like an attacking midfielder to a 6. Shut up, you. And then you see all the whole. He's engaged with everything and connected with everyone, Well,
you see the difference when he's not playing, don't you?
I
mean, there's no coincidence. Yeah. It's normally when Celtic don't win football games.
And he's a big game player as well, Emma, and he always has been. I don't know how many goals he scored here at Hampden now, whether it be semi-finals, finals, or international games, but his record here is incredible.
But I think you see how professional he is as well, on and off the pitch. You must have seen it, Lenny, of course, but he leads by example out there as the captain. He's a driving force. You don't hear anything about him off the pitch. It's just all focus. So no, I'm not surprised.
He's first in the morning every morning.
That does not surprise me.
First in the morning. I wouldn't say he's last to leave, but he sets the tempo for the rest.
And that, again, is what makes a successful football player. Well, I mean, Brendan talked about it there, didn't he? About he doesn't like these sideways passes, play the ball forward, and you just see how devastating Celtic can be when they do. They break the lines, and they've got people like that to finish it off.
Hatate's movement's great, but again, the weight of the pass, the penetrated. But I love that pass there. I think all Ida has to do is run straight to the goals. And as a manager, I love those goals. Your striker in the middle of the goal, a yard out, putting it in the net.
It's kind of like a training ground goal. You always work on these little movements, opposite movements, slide passes, reverse passes. Great for us as a manager, coach, when you see them. And there, I think that was St Johnstone. They were probably a wee bit guilty of trying to play it from the back, and then obviously Maeda again, another goal for him. What an incredible season
32 for the season,
incredible.
Remarkable.
It's genuinely incredible, and I think he's raised the bar himself in terms of his finishing. I think it's improved. He's always had pace. He always wants to run in behind. He always worked hard, but now adding the ability to have all different finishes is quite incredible, and the numbers tell you that.
You can see the confidence in him. I mean, he's played centre forward before. It's not a new position, but do you feel that his finishing, particularly this season, has improved?
He's been superb this season, but what we'll say, he's improved a lot. Not just his finishing, his movement has always been good. His pressing was always good, but his feet have got better. And what I mean by that is his close control has got better, and his finishing has got better. It used to be. I used to think out of the 3 Japanese that came in with Kyogo and Hatate that he would have been, the third level. But now he's more or less the first level. So he has improved immensely over the last couple of years at this club to being the main man. He's had a fabulous season.
I think he gives him another dimension when he plays through the middle. You see him coming off, he doesn't just stop the ball, he actually moves the ball. So it's very hard as a defender when to come and press, and then that link. I think, as you say, he's added another sort of dimension to his game.
I wouldn't have said like he was natural.
No,
right?
he's better at it.
Yeah, Kyogo
he's
was
improved
natural.
a lot.
That he's getting a lot better
But
at
like,
it
you see, the biggest thing for me, as you could say, is Kyogo left, and you're thinking, right, it's Ida's time, he's up, and Maeda's been that guy now.
He has.
Like, so
yeah.
there's not actually been a worry that he's actually left, because he's...
There's not been a void, has
no,
it? No,
and maybe people were thinking there possibly could be, but he stepped in there and look at his numbers, he's been incredible.
And then you look at the substitutions that Celtic are able to bring on, the likes of Nicholas Kuhn, Jota, Luke McCowan came on as well, and Jota, I mean, this ball from Johnson is outstanding, isn't it?
It's magnificent. Yeah, I mean, early on the season, these two were brilliant down the right-hand side. Kuhn's maybe dropped his levels a little bit, but Johnson hasn't. It's a great reverse ball from Kuhn, timing the run, and the ball in is beautiful. And I just think the right back switches off a little bit, but
I think Jota makes the ball there. I think it's a decent ball, but I think Jota's desire there to go and get on the end
it's
of
a
it.
hell of a finish from that
a tight angle.
But again, we're talking about the strength and depth, Callum.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you've got Kuhn and Jota probably chomping at the bit to come on and show what they can do.
To be able to turn round and look at your bench at that moment when you've already scored all those goals and said, you know what, let's make a little change.
But by
And they come on.
If you're the St Johnstone fullback,
and see if that was me, I'm thinking, are you winding there? I've done good. I thought I'd done okay up until now, and then they changes. It's just quite incredible.
But you know, you look at the defeat to St Johnstone, Brendan takes players out, he brings ones in who are hungry and eager to do well, they do well, and then you've now re-energised the ones you've taken out, and now they're coming on to make an impact.
I mean, it was a bit of tough love from him, but he obviously felt that it was needed. Like I say, Brendan's very rarely critical of the team or individuals, but obviously he was upset about the St Johnstone defeat, and he's rectified that, and that's good management.
I think as well, they've got something to play for as well. They've got big things to play for, so that gives them that edge as well. It gives them the edge. So players coming on know they've got to perform if they want to stay in that team, and that's great competition.
It certainly is. Well, victory for Celtic today, and disappointment for St Johnstone. We'll be getting reaction from their camp with Simo Valakari after this. St Johnstone's Scottish Cup adventure comes to an end today. Let's get reaction from Simo Valakari. He's with Connie McLaughlin.
Simo, commiserations. Can you sum up that 90 minutes for me?
Yeah, tough 90 minutes, and we all dreamt when we come here, about the final. But our cup journey, it's finito now, and of course, big credit to opponent. They were strong today, and we did not do these couple of things as well as we should have to get something out. But still, very proud of my players to get to the semi-final. Very pleased for our fans, how they're supporting us. They came here, supporting the team, and but of course, it's hurting our pride. The 5-0 result.
Yeah, of course, and given the fact, only 2 weeks ago you managed to do something a little bit different, what were the distinct differences between today and that game? Obviously bigger pitch and sort of different occasion,
but it's the same, of course we knew it, that match, we took our chances, we scoring, we had something to defend, but actually 30 minutes we were there, we took the pressure, we did this, and then a couple of not as good decision with the ball for our boys, and of course opponent, they smelt this, and they are clinical when they finish these moments, and but that's it. As I said, they can do that for any team. We have seen it, and they did it today to us, and not much, to say it. And I always said, cup competition, very simple competition. You win, you go to the next round. You lose, it's next year. So now our cup competition done. We concentrate for the Premiership.
Yeah, I guess with that in mind, the most important part of the next step will be making sure that they're not too despondent to go into a really important part of your season. How do you do that?
Yeah, of course, that's important, but I think we have been talking a lot, whatever happens today, to win or lose, it cannot affect. There are different games, these Premiership games, and, we know it, and, we are a little bit sad tonight, and tomorrow we are back on the track, and, then we go.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So Sima Valakari there. Callum, is that the most important thing, that he can pick these players up and that it doesn't transfer in? Do you feel that they can beat the drop 5 points adrift at the moment?
I think you see there, he's such a positive person, such an infectious person. I think he's always smiling. He's trying to even put a positive spin on it there. You can hear him talking. That message will be relayed to the players. It's a big 5 games for them. You know, they need to win. For me, it's the first couple of games. They need to get results in that, and then can you apply pressure? You know, if they can apply pressure, then strange things can happen in football. But again, he will remain positive, as you've seen him all season. Hopefully he gets a couple of players, defenders back fit. They've been struggling a wee bit there, you saw today. So again, one of those, can he get them fit? Can he get a couple of results early doors? That's
the thing, Motherwell away, first game after the split, it's huge, isn't it, for St Johnstone, if they are able to put some pressure on the teams above them?
Yeah, I mean, they've shown that, you know, they beat Celtic. It's not impossible. I think Callum touched on getting players back. That's really important for Seymour. Look, this is it's a
unique situation,
yeah,
isn't it?
very much so. It's a one-off, and you're playing Celtic, and it's always going to be difficult, like insurmountable almost. Now they've got to concentrate. They've had a day out. I thought he spoke very, very well. They're hurting, but they've got to get over the hurt and really concentrate now on 5 really big games, almost cup finals for them.
Yeah, certainly that is the case. Disappointment today for St Johnstone. Can they pick themselves up for the league? Thank you very much, as always, for your company. Always a pleasure. Well, what a show we've had here from Celtic today. 5 goals, and they're into the Scottish Cup final. We'll see you on May 24th for the showpiece occasion.